am so excited to have Kiarra Jenkins with us, and she is here from Real Women Chat, Real Women Empower, and just the name alone speaks volumes. We are so excited to just hear about this and the vision behind it. Kiarra, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, well, as Miss Tamika stated, I'm Kiarra Jenkins. I'm born and raised in Miami, Florida. And I basically decided to start Real Women Chat, Real Women Empowered about 2 years ago. And this came out of a long thought process of me trying to figure out my purpose, how I can help women overcome different things that they may have experienced in their lives. So that's the basis of where it started. I have experienced a lot of hardships in my life, and I realized that even with those things that I have experienced, that it's not necessarily my own battle, and that because I've come out of it, or I am coming out of it, I have a story to share, and I want to be able to, be able to empower women based on my experiences.
Oh, wow. Wow. So, I mean, that is just awesome because I know that, God gives us purpose, right? And, I always say that Romans 8:28, all things work together for good for those who love the Lord and called according to his purpose. And even though we go through a whole lot of things, it always works for his purpose and always going to help somebody else. So
Okay.
tell us a little bit more about your story, if you don't mind.
Oh, no, I don't mind. Well, I'm 39 years old, so I have had my fair share of different issues that I've experienced. One being a broken relationship with both of my parents. It is still a work in progress. Something that I had to come to grips with to understand the reason why that happened, and where it brought me from, where it brought me to. I realized after getting over the pain of it, I realized that going through that helped me to become who I am, helped me to become the strong woman that I am. And I could definitely say as well, through prayer, definitely my grandparents on both sides, my paternal and maternal grandparents, had a lot to do with helping me to understand that even though I am going through this hardship of feeling abandoned, being abused at some points, being mistreated, that despite all that, it's not that God didn't love me. I was made to go through this in order to be able to come out of it, to be able to help other people, whether that be women, children, to come out of their situation, to understand that even though we have our hardships and things like that, it's not meant to break us. It's meant to help us to become stronger. And once we realize that, we're able to heal from it. Because it took me a long time to heal from that, because at points I was looking for certain things from my parents, I would say, um, that I wanted them to acknowledge certain things, and it didn't happen. So, of course, anger um, came up, and I had to get over that. And that was a process for myself. That was something in a sense that I brought on myself, but I do thank God for the fact that, I had a relationship with him, to understand that even though I may have been hurt in those situations, that he never left me nor forsake me. He was always there with me. He's given me the strength and the peace to move forward. And I'm truly grateful for that. And that's the reason why I want to share my story and my experiences, so people can understand that even though you've been hurt, you may have been abandoned, you may have been abused, that doesn't have to be the end of everything. Like, that you can move from it and grow.
You can move from it and grow. And during those times, you touched on so many different things of your life. During those times, in that pain part, um, what was it like? Like, what was it like? If you could just put little nuggets, what was it like to be in that pain part?
Oh, wow. Pain is something.
Lacey,
um
go.
Pain is truly something else. um while going through it, I definitely felt alone. At
Mhm.
times I felt abandoned. I felt depressed. My
Mhm.
self-esteem definitely was impacted. Like I said, I'm 39 years old, and to be honest with you, this past year, even through the pandemic, I've actually gained a peace about myself. There's a confidence that I've never, ever, ever thought I would even be able to experience. But I realized that once I let that pain go and realize that, you have to move forward. You can't stay in the same space. I was able to I'm coming into who I am meant to be. I'm coming into my fullness. And when I tell you that it's a great, awesome feeling, like I'm on the verge of tears because it's like I never thought that I would be able to be in this place because I was in a very dark place. I was angry even with people who tried to show me that they loved me or that they were supportive of me. I know a lot of people, and they still say it now, oh, you walk around like you got an attitude, but that was my defense of, just keeping people away because the two, in a sense, the main people that I thought loved me and birthed me and, my parents, in a sense, they pushed me away and we had our issues and I just didn't want to experience that again. So I would just, push people away. Some people were able to break through that that hard shell of mine, and I'm grateful for that. But
So
I'm
you
grateful.
built up, so you built up walls in a
Yes,
sense. You built up walls, and
yes,
I can relate. That's just a defense. I think God, gives us every emotions, I believe, and
yes.
you build up a defense because that is the only safe space that you have. So you build up this wall, just to make sure that you can find your own safety. Am I correct?
That is true. That is true. That is very, very true. Definitely. And then even in that dark place, that dark space, like I said too, I'm so grateful that I have the relationship that I have with God. I have a spiritual I have a spiritual relationship with God, and I'm grateful for that because I could have gotten lost in that and could have been still in that space. But through that dark place, even though I was in a dark place, there I did was able to see the light at the end of the tunnel because God was still there with me. He was still whispering to me, telling me, you're worth it. Like you're, just keep moving forward. Like trust yourself. God was whispering to me, trust yourself. And I'm like, how am I supposed to trust myself? What am I trusting myself with? And I realized I have to trust myself with me. I have to know that despite what I've experienced, I am who I am, not necessarily because of what I've experienced, but because of the journey. I feel like that's more so what it is. It's the journey. It's learning me. And even still at my age, I am still learning who I am. But where I am now, I'm grateful for where I am. And I'm grateful for the lady that who I know.
Yeah.
Before you couldn't even ask me anything, about me. And, I would get stuck like, okay, I don't know how to answer this. But like I said, too, I have a confidence about myself that I've never had before. And I'm
Yeah.
grateful for it.
And that's awesome because so many of us struggle with different things that have happened to us in our lifetime, and by the way, you look good for your 39 years old age.
Thank you.
That we struggle with, and we sometimes we harbor it in, and we actually end up hurting people that probably didn't hurt us, because say hurt people.
Exactly.
But let's talk about, how did you come out of it, so you can kind of give little people a little nuggets of how you came out of it, and what was, I know the Lord, above all, but what
Mhm.
was it that you say, what, enough is enough? What was that light bulb click?
Oh, well, I had a few light bulb clicks. Um, the first light bulb click was before I had my daughter, who is 13. So I've been going through this process for a while. But prior to having my daughter, I said to myself, I don't want to be in this space. I'm like, this cannot be all. that I am can be all that I can be. I didn't like being angry. I wanted for people to understand me, but I realized that I wasn't making it easy for people to understand me. And it took for some special people to see through my hardness to get through to me. So I would definitely say some of the mentorships that I've had, and my thought process of not just wanting to stay in that space. I knew that it was more to my life than just being in a dark place. And I wrote a little poem or so about that. And I'll share it eventually.
Yeah.
But I was really truly in a very dark place. But in that dark place, I began to find me. I began to understand, in a sense, who I was. Even still being hurt, I was being able to understand who I am. So I would definitely say the mentorships, my prayer life, most definitely my relationship with God, and my desire. And I think that that's kind of like the first step, the desire to not want to be in that space. Desire, it pushes you. It takes you to a place like where you're kind of like you could be like an out of body experience, as people to say, like, because sometimes you can't understand or process the process, but you're going through it, and then once you're out of it, you can look back and be like, oh wow, like I've come so far. So I definitely say as well the desire to not want to stay in that space, in addition to as well my children. I mean, like I said, my daughter, she kind of went through it with me. I was still in that angry space, and I'm like, no, I can't, because I'm like, I don't want my daughter to have to experience this. And then my
Right, right.
son, the same thing. So yeah, so I would definitely say my relationship with God, prayer, mentorship, my desire to not want to be in that place, and knowing that there was more to my life than being in a dark space, in my children, most definitely.
Exactly. And and God will give us a supernatural peace that
Mm,
we can't even comprehend. Now his
definitely.
verse says that he'll give us the peace that surpasses all understanding,
Hmm.
who guard our hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. So that is
Amen.
alone in itself, but also, we as being women of color, is sometimes looked down upon, when we try to seek out and,
Yeah.
seek out help, and it's
Hmm.
okay, it's okay to seek
Oh,
um wise
counsel,
counsel,
most definitely.
because it's the elephant in the room. It is
It
the
really
elephant
is.
in the room that that needs to be shed some light on. That it's
Hmm.
okay. We lean
Yeah.
on the Lord, but it's okay also,
Hmm.
to seek professional help. And I'm
Agree.
not just promoting that only, but I'm just saying it's
Hmm.
okay to get it out, because you don't want to keep that stuff in, because it causes so many things, bitterness, all
Yes.
kind of, that is not good for you.
Hmm.
So it's, yeah. So what are you doing now, um to help people and help women, and and from your journey of what you've learned now, what would you say to your old self? And then I guess I'm asking too many questions, but your old self, and then also what are you doing now to help those women?
Okay. So what I'm doing now, I just actually became a certified life coach about 2 months ago. So I'm working on putting my platform together to, make it public so that I can be able to offer life coaching services to women. And the vision for that is to help women turn their pain into purpose. Because I know a lot of times, we go through things and we don't understand the reason why, or understand that there's a purpose in everything that we experience, whether it be good or bad. And
Amen.
that's something that I did learn long, 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 long time ago. That there's a purpose in everything. There's a reason and a season for everything. So that's what I'm doing now. So that's the purpose of Real Women Chat, Real Women Empowered. Um, the next question you asked was, what will I tell my old self now? And you listen, you're in my mind, because that question came to me a few days ago, maybe like a week or so ago. And I'm like, oh, what would I tell my old self? Like, wow. I will honestly tell my old self to keep moving. Know that you are worthy. That regardless of what you have experienced, that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and that you don't have to be angry. Whatever somebody else did to you is not a reflection of you, it's a reflection of them. And that's another thing that I have learned. Like, because I will blame myself of different things, and this not even just with my parents, other personal situations that I've experienced. I will blame myself. A question like, why me? And I remember a family member of mine saying, why not you? And it's true. And I would say that to my old self too. Why not you? The things that we go through are meant to not to break us, but to grow us and to move us through life, and for us to be able to help other people. So that's what I definitely would say to my old self, because trust me, I have wanting to give up. And I kind of still have, maybe so. But it's something just kept me going. And clearly that has been, the foundation that has been set in my life. So I
You
would
know,
definitely
I think that's awesome, that you say keep going, and 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 look at yourself and say, really, your pain isn't about you. It's about
Amen.
that person. And then
Mhm.
and you can take it and help someone else. So this is
Amen.
just awesome to know
Mhm.
that, there's a lot of us hurting, a lot of us have hurt, a lot of us maybe not hurting
Mhm.
anymore or still going through, that
Mhm.
we are
Mhm.
here, you're here to help, and and stuff like that. And you're providing a service,
Mhm.
to take your pain and
Yes.
put it into purpose so that people can actually live the life that God has called them to
Exactly.
live,
Amen.
which is
Amen.
which is
Yeah.
awesome.
Thank
So
you.
um the name Real Woman Chat,
Mhm.
Real Woman Empower. How did you get the name?
So, like I said, I came up with this like 2 years ago, and I'm still evolving with this whole process. But Real Women Chat, Real Women Empowered, originally what it was supposed to be is a group of women getting together to talk about whatever they may have experienced in life, and for us to be able to empower each other based on our experiences. I did 2 years ago, I did have one event where I was able to do, no, I actually had two events where I was able to have like a roundtable discussion with some women about various topics that we don't like to talk about. And one of those topics was suffering in silence. And I think I'm going to kind of like continue on that process, because I do think that we all do have, or at some point have suffered in silence, if not still are suffering in silence. So that was a big topic that I discussed with around a group of women, and a lot of them, I mean, the feedback was very good, as into the fact that this was very empowering. They did tell me that, and very thought provoking. And because it was a group of women that didn't know each other, it surprised me at the fact that they were so open. So that showed me that this was something that was necessary and that's needed. It's just a matter of, just putting it out there, because as women, we're taught to be strong. We're taught to just, keep it moving. Don't, if you focus on whatever you're going through, or you break down, oh, you're weak. No, we have to have an outlet. We have to have, a place to be able to vent out our true feelings and not feel judged. So that's a part of the purpose for Real Women Chat, Real Women Empowered, that I want to be able to, in addition to life coaching, I want to be able to gather women together for us to have those roundtable discussions about those things that we may not feel comfortable talking to our sister about, our biological sister about, our best friend about, because sometimes I realize that it's just the way it is. We are a little more open with people who we feel there's no judgment.
Right.
And that's, and that's important, because if you're down, you don't want that. You don't want any type of judgment. You want to feel comforted. You want to feel consoled. So I know that that's something that's needed, and that I'm gonna, continue to push forward.
Okay.
So
So
that's
how
why it came up.
that is I think that's incredibly awesome. That's
Thank
definitely
you.
needed. We can glean from each other. I
Definitely.
think that is a great thing, a safe space. You don't need a whole lot of people, but
Mhm.
it's great to know that you're providing a service like this. So how can someone get in contact with you if they are, interested? How can they get in contact with you?
So I have my Instagram page, which is alive and well. And that page is women_empowered_chat.
Okay.
You can put it
And
in
it'll
the
be in the comments. I'll drop it in the comments. Yeah.
Thank you. So you can definitely follow me on that. That's my personal business page. And on there I do different inspirational posts. I will definitely be doing more videos and things like that for people to be able to see who I am, and to and to make them aware of the upcoming events and things of that nature that I'm going to be doing. I can also be reached via email, and that email is empower@real-women.biz. So if there's any services or anything or any networking opportunities, you can definitely feel free to reach me via email. And also today I just started my YouTube channel. um that's a whole work in progress, but I'm moving forward. And even in that, I'm moving forward in my journey of, building up my confidence to know that, okay, I can do it. So my YouTube channel is Real Women Chat, Real Women Empowered. And I'll also send you the link as well, because I just did it today.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if there's a time frame with YouTube for people to find it, but I have the link as well, so I can provide that to you as well. And I'm open to any networking possibilities as well. Please don't let my face fool y'all. I promise you, I'm a sweetheart. I'm working on my facial expressions, I promise. But I just have a heart to help people. I have a heart to see
Right.
people grow into their full potential and who they need to be, and who they're meant
And
to be.
that and that's amazing that you said that, because it is a desire that God puts in our hearts, and out of the desire of our heart flows the
Yes,
issues of life and all of that.
yes, yes,
And God put that in there, and that's why your fit is coming from your heart. So people
yes,
hear your heart, you're being confident, you're being real, you're being authentic.
yes,
So I mean, I just love this. I love that you're doing this. I think that is awesome, because sometimes if we're so boastful and bragging, then
yes,
it is like you don't see the humbleness. So I
yes.
absolutely love what you're doing. I'm proud of you, and
Thank
keep doing
you.
great job, and keep helping women out there. And we'll make sure we'll get all your information down. I know me and Tammy are so excited to have you on the
Thank
show.
you. Thank you both. Thank
Um,
you.
thank thank you.
Thank you for
Any
the
last things you
opportunity.
want to say? You're welcome. Any last things you want to say, or any words of encouragement you want to say to anybody
Of
before we?
course. First of all, I would definitely want to thank you and Tammy for this opportunity. I was nervous, honestly, but I'm happy that I did do it. I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. So I thank you both for thinking enough of me to provide this opportunity to me. To anyone that will be watching this interview, this dialogue, I want to let you know that you are worthy. Man, woman, boy, girl, you are worthy. You are a child of God. Um, you have a purpose in life. You weren't just born just to exist and not do anything. And just know that you are worthy. And that even though I may not know you, that I love you.
Amen.
And that we're all here, to help. And if I can be of any assistance to anyone, definitely, reach out to me. I'm more than willing to provide my services, and if not, direct you in the right direction to get the help and services that you may need. And thank you again.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So thank you again,
Thank
Kiarra.
you.
All her information will be in the comments. Remember, put in your brain, Real Women Chat, Real Woman Empowered. Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you. Have a good
Bye.
one. Thank you. Bye-bye.